Want to know an essential key to boosting your prepping success? Well, then I guess it's time for another fireside chat. We are advised never ever pick a general degree such as liberal arts. Pick a professional, specialized degree such as mechanical engineering if we want success in our career. And even as YouTube creators, we're told to pick a niche and then niche down if we want to increase our subscribers and viewership. And I have to admit, I might never get that 100,000 subscriber silver plaque because I refuse to completely niche down. I have a lot of different interests and I want to share them with you. And I think they're all connected to prepping. But I guess it confuses the YouTube algorithm. So specializing narrows your focus down and you become an expert at a certain thing. But you know what? I don't think that's a good idea for prepping. I think diversity is the key to prepping success. You know, I believe you need to be a Jack or a Jacqueline of all trades. When I was young, I was real into reading science fiction, and I read a lot of Robert A. Heinlein. In fact, I even met him once at a science fiction convention. And one of his books that I didn't like too much, Time for Love, he had a quote, though, by the prime character, Lazarus Long, that stuck with me for a long, long time. A human being should be able to change a diaper, plan an invasion, butcher a hog, con a ship, design a building, write a sonnet, balance accounts, build a wall, set a bone, comfort the dying, take orders, give orders, cooperate, act alone, solve equations, analyze a new problem, pitch manure, program a computer, cook a tasty meal, fight efficiently, die gallantly. Specialization is for insects. And you know what? I think that kind of summarizes prepping. We need to have knowledge in as many different areas as possible. Now, definitely, I know how to change a diaper. I have to admit, I have never planned an invasion or butchered a hog. However, I do have books in my library on butchering wild animals and domestic animals. Con a ship, haven't done that because I don't even know what it is. I'm thinking maybe it's something to do with navigation. Design a building, well, no, haven't done that other than my tree fort as a child. Write a sonnet, no. Poetry is not for me, nor is writing music lines. Balance accounts, you bet. I am an MBA and I'm really good in finance. Build a wall, well, other than a stone wall, I've never done that. Set a bone, kinda, I could do that. Comfort the dying, I've done it, but I'm not the best at doing it. Taking orders, I have done that. Giving orders, according to my husband, I am really adept at that. Cooperate, I like to think so. Act alone, sometimes solo is better. Solve equations, well, I have never used my calculus since grad school, and I wonder why it was necessary, but I did help my grandson last week with his algebra homework. Analyze a new problem. I'm very good at problem solving. Pitch manure. Unfortunately, I have to do that for both my chickens and my rabbits. Program a computer. Well, since the early days of, the VIC-20 and the Commodore 64 when I knew BASIC, that was the last time I was able to program a computer. Cook a tasty meal. Well, if you watch my channel, you know I'm pretty good at that. Fight efficiently. I have never fought in my life, so I don't think I would be very efficient at it. Die gallantly. Oh, I'd like to think I would. So, but there's so many other things to learn and to have knowledge about. That's what makes the world a wonderful place. And YouTube a wonderful resource because it has so much information as long as you sift through the misinformation. but on how to do something. Oops, I'm sorry, I forgot to introduce myself. If you're new to my channel, I'm Prepper Potpourri, and I have been on YouTube for over a decade, making emergency preparedness, food preservation, cooking, and gardening, and a variety of videos, because I think knowledge is important. So if you like this video, hit that like button, and if you want to hear more, hit the subscribe button. Really appreciate it. So I feel knowledge, that is diverse knowledge on a lot of different subjects, is key to prepping in a short-term emergency or a long-term emergency. Just last week, my daughter called me. Her basement was filling with water and she didn't know where the water turnoff valve was. Very little piece of information, but can be essential. The same with the gas shutoff valve for your house if you smell gas. But of course, there can be more extensive knowledge, such as first aid. What if your child or your husband starts choking, maybe on a piece of hot dog? Can you do the Heimlich maneuver? You might save their life with that little bit of knowledge. And of course, in longer emergencies, home gardening and foraging may give your family the micronutrients they need to supplement the emergency beans and rice that you have in your pantry. And ham radio expertise might help you communicate and gather knowledge, let's say in a disaster such as an earthquake. Raising backyard chickens can give you a source of meat and eggs, which could be very essential when food is scarce. And we can go into so many other mechanical skills, how to do small motor, engine repair, carpentry skills. Sewing. There are so many things out there. Now, of course, the honest truth is you can only know so much. And that's why it's good having a large prepper library. Yep, it's a pretty extensive prepping library. On the top, I have all my cookbook general, which you can't see. But then on the next shelf, I have bushcraft and survival, emergency preparedness, and medical. Next shelf, I have homesteading, foraging and butchering, and gardening. And on the bottom shelf, I have homemaking and repair, miscellaneous, and pantry cookbooks. Got a video on that if you're interested. But have books on a lot of different topics, be it butchering, homesteading, raising small animals, cooking, food preservation, how to tan a hide. I mean, there's so many subjects out there. So always try to expand your library and your knowledge up here. You should never, ever stop learning. That's one of the reasons I always like the Prepper Matrix developed by PrepperLink. It covers a lot of the topics that I think are important for prepping. It has medical, water, food, protection, survival plan, communication, energy, financial, and sanitation and hygiene. But as you can see, all of these categories have many subcategories, and then maybe even subcategories under them. So it gives you a wealth of information of what preps and what skills and what knowledge you might need. I have a video on that if you're interested. I just think it is a great diagram for structuring your own emergency preparedness plan. And you know what? I'll just play that prepping matrix video at the end of this video. Now, can we master everything? Well, of course we can't. There's no way. But we can still always be expanding our knowledge and making relationships with others who have knowledge, maybe in our neighborhood or in our family. And I believe diversity is also applicable to intelligence gathering. Don't always look at one source for your news. Get a lot of sources from a lot of different viewpoints before you come up with what you think is accurate information. So diversity in your information gathering is also very important. And of course, diversity in your preps, right? You want to have backup preps, you want to have the preps you need, and you want to have the skills to know how to use those preps. And lastly, I believe diversity also applies to people. I want to encourage anyone to prep, no matter what your sex is, what your race is, what your religious beliefs are, what your sexual orientation is. My feeling is the bigger we have of prepperdom, the more people in it, the better prepared we all are for any disaster that comes our way. So I urge you, embrace prepping and diversity for your preps, for your skills, for your knowledge, and for your information gathering. It will definitely give a boost to your emergency preparedness. So, as always, keep prepping and share the knowledge. Now, here's that Prepper Matrix video.